evening. Welcome to Foxcroft Academy for some prelim basketball. My name's Zach White. I'm joined by Dave Mason on commentary tonight. Mark Cowan doing the camera work and producing tonight's action. Dave, coming into tonight, we have the Foxcroft Academy Ponies, the number 5 seed, faced off against visiting MDI Trojans, they the number 12 seed, coming into today's prelim basketball action. Dave, it's turning time. There's energy and anticipation in the air. It's going to be some fun basketball.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, coming in here, there was like no parking. This is when you start to realize that we're actually arrived at tournament weekend this week. I'm really interested to see today, especially like how amped these players come out. I mean, you play in these prelim games and you're coming in, you're like, all right. As the lower seed, you're like, we got something to prove. As the higher seed, you're like, well, we got to make a statement. Show everybody why we should have been in the tournament.
Yeah, absolutely. It's the opportunity and time to do that because it's win or go home at this part of the year. We're not at the cross center at this moment. Essentially, we are. I mean, it is win or go home. And the winner of this game will advance to play number 4 seed Old Town at 12 p.m. on Saturday, the 18th, quarterfinal basketball. But we've got a long way to go before we get to that point. We've got 2 teams that are excited and vying to be there. Also, 2 teams that saw each other in the regular season. You know, Foxcroft Academy came out with the win on that night, 58-45. That was the 4th week of the regular season. That's a long time ago. So a lot has changed for either side since that point. And what do you expect to see? You know, basketball intensity, all of those things. What do you expect to see for the Ponies, and what do you expect to see for the Trojans?
Yeah, I mean, the biggest thing for the Ponies, every time they step on the floor, starting quick because they have a tendency to come out slow. And if they get back by too much too early, they start to panic. And then that's when they've lost some games they shouldn't have lost. I mean, we saw them lose to Orono when it was really close here. They kind of panicked when it was close during the late times. They've been better as we've gone on in the year, which is what happens. But if you're MDI, I would be surprised if they come out, press immediately, try and make some chaos, just muck this game up and really try and make it a dog fight to make it to the cross center.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's a very good point there, Gabe. And you know, slow starts has been a key point for the Ponies all season. We saw in the last regular season game against the Presque Isle Wildcats, slow starts. Started down 14-0 that one for the Ponies. And you can admit that in that game there was not a lot on the line for either side, but give a lot of credit to the Wildcats who came out, played hard, and came out with a nice victory in that one where the Ponies started slow. So definitely an important theme and key there. Well, folks, as we head into tourney season, we want to thank you for joining us here on the Maine Highlands Federal Credit Union pregame show and joining us at Eastern Maine Sports Media. If you haven't already, subscribe to the YouTube channel. All you need is an account. You can subscribe and stay up to date with all of our broadcasts completely free. We will have live audio coverage of select games happening during the basketball tournament at the Cross and Stern Center, so stay tuned for that. At this time, though, we do want to thank some of the sponsors who have helped make these broadcasts free and accessible for everybody. Black Bear Cranes, a family-owned and operated crane and rigging service provider located in Herman, covering the state of Maine with cranes from 27 to 240 tons. From roof trusses, HVAC units, steel and precast erection to modular home communications equipment. Call 977-BEAR today. If you need a vehicle, contact Sonny, Sean, Brian, or Ryan at Hartley's. Easy financing available, great selection of new and used. Call 207-368-5751. And Maine Mapping Company. Maine Mapping Company provides all of your land surveying and mapping needs throughout the state of Maine. Centrally located in Dexter, Maine Mapping provides boundary, topographic, and aerial surveys, as well as construction survey services statewide. Visit us at www.mainemappingco.com or check out our Facebook page to get more information or request a quote. At this time, we're going to send it over to a brief commercial break and rejoin you for more on the Maine Highlands Federal Credit Union pregame show.
Busy with places to go, things to do, people to see. Let Maine Highlands Federal Credit Union make managing your money easy with mobile services, bill pay, Apple Pay, mobile deposit, and more. We're as close as your phone. Now serving all of Piscataquis, Penobscot, and Somerset counties. Maine Highlands Federal Credit Union. Personal service, shared value. MHFCU.com.
Rouse Garage in Dover Foxcroft to discover the difference between walking into a local dealership versus a big dealer that uses high-pressure tactics the second you drive onto the lot. From selling you a vehicle to servicing your vehicle, Ral's Garage will treat you like you are the only customer. While you're there, check out their state-of-the-art automatic car wash. Ral's Garage, call them at 207-564-3434 or visit them at 191 East Main Street in Dover, Foxcroft, Maine.
Sluggers baseball and softball training offers a variety of classes and leagues to expose you to a wider view of the game. Sluggers leads the way in baseball and softball training with industry-leading technology such as Hit Tracks that combines a traditional batting cage experience with modern analytics, all from the virtual diamond of your favorite ballpark. Check out Sluggers today on Facebook, schedule online, or call 207-951-2250 to start your journey with the best training staff around. Excellence starts at Sluggers. Ames Chiropractic Wellness Center is a practice that specializes in treating a variety of different conditions. We treat patients daily who suffer from chronic lower back and neck pain, headaches, repetitive stress disorders, work injuries, sports injuries, and more. Dr. Rick and our entire team at Ames Chiropractic are excited to welcome you to our brand new Bangor office located at 43 Longview Drive, right behind Olive Garden. Ames Chiropractic Wellness Center, helping you to naturally feel and be your very best.
We are the NFHS. That stands for the National Federation of State High School Associations. But really, what we stand for, together with the MPA, are the 49,000 high school sports and performing arts students in Maine. And so, we stand. We stand for the runners, debate team members, and basketball players. We stand for their coaches, officials, and adjudicators. We stand for the drummers, football players, and actors. We stand for the golfers, singers, and swimmers. We stand as the national leader and advocate for these essential activities and all who participate in them and make them possible, because it is our purpose to ensure that high school students get to play, perform, and compete together. To learn more about who we are and what we stand for, visit nfhs.org.
Brothers Meats is a family-owned and operated business located in Guilford, Maine. We operate a local retail meat market along with a slaughterhouse, smokehouse, and processing plants. Herring Brothers has all sorts of meats from already pre-cut all the way to cutting it right on the spot for you. Also, while you're there, don't forget to try their wicked good beef jerky that is made right in Guilford, Maine. Call them at 207-876-4395 or visit them at 346 Water Street Monday through Saturday from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. And stop by Kimball Insurance for all your insurance needs. Whether it be auto, home, farm, business, life, or health insurance, we have you covered. Our agents are ready to serve you and help you with your needs. Visit us at Kimball Insurance at 91 Main Street in Sangerville, Maine, online at KimballInsuranceAgency.com, or visit us on Facebook to see what we can do for you. Kimball's, your insurance is our business.
Welcome back here to Foxcroft Academy, and thank you for rejoining us on the Maine Highlands Federal Credit Union pregame show. Again, my name is Zach White. I'm joined by Gabe Nason. We're going to be doing the commentary for you this evening. We've got Mark Callan doing the camera work and producing tonight's action. So, Gabe, 5 minutes and 25 seconds remaining on the pregame clock here. Let's start to dive into what we might expect to see out of these teams, or what some of the keys to the game are for both the Ponies and the Trojans here.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, my keys for MDI, more specifically, is, like I said earlier, but to be more specific, you're going to muck up the game, but you're going to want to create turnovers, not just, the traditional steal. You're going to get a poke and then someone's going to dive on the ball, it's going to go out of bounds. I want to see pressurized turnovers, so you get traps and they throw the ball way out of bounds because they weren't seeing it. That's what they need to create to win this game. For Foxcroft, to me, it's very simple. You get the ball in Jader Richards' hands and you let him figure it out. Yeah. He's been their difference maker, especially a lot in the second half of the year in their big games, but even at the beginning of the year. But you have to get the ball in his hands and let him figure it out. Obviously, Caden Crocker as well.
Yeah, and you have a number of guys for either side here that are impact players to the nth degree. Not dressed and not playing tonight, as you can see on either bench. For the Ponies, Oliveira, he's not going to be seeing action tonight. Typically, he's been a starter for this team. Big impact player for the Ponies, so that could be something to watch on their side. For MDI, they're down Caden Reed tonight. another big-time impact player. So 2 typical starters for either side, not dressing on either bench to, watch tonight's action. But if I know anything about those 2, they're going to be into the game. They're going to be supporting their group, and we wish they could be out on the court and we could be watching them alongside all of you at home, but we know that they're going to bring positive energy for their group. On the other side, Gabe, I liked what you said about both the Ponies and the Trojans here and some of the things they have to do. To echo that point even farther, I think for Foxcroft, you got to have that effort and intensity and focus. When they're a focused basketball team, they're tough to contend with.
Yeah, absolutely.
They're a tough basketball team to beat when they remain focused. We saw that focus shift a little bit against the Wildcats, and that ended up not going quite their way. So that energy and focus needs to be out on display tonight for the Ponies. And for MDI, you're coming into a game where you proved early in the regular season you can play with this Ponies team. And although it's a 5-12 matchup, don't think about it that way. Class B is so tough that every game in Class B this year has been competitive. Well, maybe not every game, but more nights than not, you're having a competitive basketball game. And tonight's no different. And they know that the pressure isn't on them. The pressure is not on MDI tonight. Maybe they do feel some pressure, but the pressure's on the Ponies to perform and come out here and get the win. MDI, they get to be, Cinderella and enjoy that. And they get to enjoy coming out here and leaving it all on the floor. And that's what it boils down to at the end of the day. Now, with 2 minutes and 20 seconds remaining on the Maine Highlands Federal Credit Union pregame show, we want to thank a few more of the sponsors who have joined on for tournament coverage here as we are in the prelim round right now. But we will have even more select broadcasts going on at the Cross Insurance Center for tournament. So we want to thank some of the teams who have joined on to sponsor some tournament basketball. Dexter Municipal Golf Course is opening up membership enrollment for the 2023 season. Individual adult memberships start at $450, but capture a 10% discount if paid by April 15th. Dexter Muni is also offering a 20% discount to those who weren't members last season. That's unlimited greens fees at Dexter Municipal Golf Course in the 2023 season for only $360. The early bird gets the worm. Call 924-2245 for more info. That's 924-2245. Dexter Muni. We would like to thank Sibley Transportation for sponsoring our tournament coverage. They have reliable shipping, freight, brokerage, and warehousing. They have been a family business since 1910 and have offered great service for just as long. Go to sibleytransport.com to get a quote today. And if you need a place to stay during tourney week, check out Bangor Grand Hotel. Make it your home away from home. Check out the newly renovated rooms, heated pool, lounge, event center, and live entertainment. All guests get free breakfast at the Blue Sky Lounge restaurant, located just west of I-95 on the northwest of I-395 and Audlin Road in Bangor. Make Bangor Grand your tournament stay. Finally, Downtown with Rich Kimball is proud to be a sponsor of the 2023 high school basketball tournament. Downtown is the place to turn for entertainment, sports, and radio's best guest list. Weekdays from 4 to 6 p.m. on WZON, AM 620, and streaming worldwide at downtownwithrichkimball.com. All right, 30 seconds remaining in the pregame here. Somebody's got to move a vehicle, Gabe. I heard that at the end of the reads there. But we're getting ready to get this game moving along. 3 officials for tonight's actions. Tournament typical, 3 officials out there. And saw it last night on the girls' side in what was a great prelim basketball game between the Herman Hawks and the Foxcroft Academy Ponies. Foxcroft advanced in that one in what was a very tight game. Expect to see more quality competition tonight. All right, at this time, we're going to turn it over to the public address announcer.
To the campus of Foxcroft Academy for tonight's boys playoff basketball game between the visiting Trojans of Mount Desert Island High School and your Foxcroft Academy Ponies. Foxcroft Academy and MDI are both proud members of the Big East Basketball Conference. They value sportsmanship. Please cheer positively for all the players involved. Hope you enjoy tonight's game. Now let's meet the starters first for the visiting Trojans. At guard, junior number 10, Spencer Lorendu. At guard, sophomore number 20, Cal Hodgkin. At forward, senior number 24, Brandon March. At forward, senior number 42, Evan Akron. And at forward, senior number 44, Alex Gray. MDI is coached by Justin Nord, and he's assisted by Scott Morrell, Ryan Mastrospolo, and Seth Saunders. And now the starting lineups for your Foxcroft Academy ponies. At guard, a 5'10" junior, number 3, Jaden Richard. At tailor guard, a 6' senior, number 23, Kaden Crocker. At forward, a 5'10" senior, number 14, Cameron Chase. At forward, a 6'2" senior, number 31, Adam Connor. And at center for the ponies, a 6'6" senior, number 44, Ivan Mudachia. The ponies are coached by Toby Dawson, and he's assisted by Ryan Deckard and Drew Daisy. The officials for today's game are Mr. Prescott, Mr. Hogan, and Mr. Cornier. Now we ask them to all please rise and move your hats for playing our national anthem by the Foxcroft Academy Band under direction of Mr. Josh Guthrie.
All right, there you have it. Starting lineup, national anthem. Only thing left to do is jump ball and get this game underway. We do have some score updates from tonight so far, Gabe. Fort Fairfield 60, PCHS 46 on the boys' side. That's a final score there. PVHS 22, Panquist 18. Last update, that was at the end of the third.
Close one there.
Close one there indeed. And we'll keep providing updates as we can and as they flow in throughout the game tonight.
You know, I'll say, we were talking about being focused for Foxcroft. Take it as you will, warm-ups, but they were more relaxed, flowing. MDI was very focused and driven. So take it as you will. It may not mean anything, but just to point that out before it starts.
Yeah, and tip controlled by the Trojans. They're going to get tonight's action going. It's going to be Ankrum bringing it down for the Trojans. Gives it up to Marsh. Lorendo now. Now Gray. Muduchev on him. Nice drive inside. That's Marsh on the layup attempt for 2. So nice take inside. Game gets started with a layup by Marsh and the Trojans. Pass intended inside. That is a matchup to watch. Marsh, definitely no slouch underneath, but Muduchev does have a bit of size on the interior.
Yeah, and this I was interested to see, you know, Muduchev starting in place of Oliveira, how it would affect them.
And turnover there, Gabe, as you say, how it affects them.
They've definitely, on defense and on offense there, have seemed
Shot from the corner, off the mark, rebound Muduchev.
out of sync with Muduchev on the floor. I don't know if that's just because they're got jitters going on right now or if it's partially him.
Early
Smith up and in.
Nice take there, and good call there. Is finish made.
Chase up and in. Sorry, I said Smith.
No worries at all. Back on the other end for the Trojans. Lorendo at the top of the key there. Gives it up to Gray, who gave it up to Hodgdon. Nice drive, shot off for a moment. Pass fake, shot up, off the mark. Tip out Marsh. Second shot attempt, up and in. Ankrum now able to get that one to fall. Richard, kick out, chase, corner, off the mark. Tipped away, Trojan basketball. Marsh has been active on the inside so far, Gabe.
Yeah, absolutely. I was just about to say the same thing. Him and Muchev already. Muchev does have to be careful, though. He's trying to use his height and go over the top. If he does that too much, it's going to put him in foul trouble. And I don't know if they have the bigs off the bench to really help that.
Yeah, definitely might see some small lineups into the mix for the Ponies. So rebounding very well could be a key part of this basketball game. It is in general, but especially so tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Oliveira, one of their best rebounders and interior defenders, too.
Hodgson takes a three from the corner, up and in. Great start there, and great shot made by Cal Hodgson. Chase the shot fake, and sometimes the slow offensive starts by the Ponies. Nothing slow about the way MDI has started this basketball game offensively.
No, not at all. We both talked about it. You know, Foxcroft had to come out and not be slow to start, and MDI had to come out fast, and they're doing exactly what they need to do if they want to keep winning this game. Obviously, we're super early, but what you want to see early on so far.
And Hodgson almost came up with that basketball. Good job by Crocker.
Yeah.
Able to control that with 5:30 remaining here in this opening quarter. Pass over to Connor. Look for the drive. A little bit of a miscommunication in the corner. Crocker had a foot on the line. Turnover. Ball back to the Trojans.
And you can already see some frustration on Foxcroft's face. They didn't want to start off slow. They know that they've started off slow this year, and here we are again.
On the other end. Kick to the corner. That's Gray with it now. Drive on Mudichev. Kick out to the corner. A lot of dribble penetration early on in this game for the Trojans. Lorendo almost took that to the rim. Good control and patience on this possession by MDI. That one kicked out. Clean look at a three. Gray makes it. That's going to lead to an early timeout taken by Coach Toby Nelson and the Ponies. We're going to take it with him and rejoin you in a moment.
Brothers Meats is a family-owned and operated business located in Guilford, Maine. We operate a local retail meat market along with a slaughterhouse, smokehouse, and processing plants. Herring Brothers has all sorts of meats from already pre-cut all the way to cutting it right on the spot for you. Also, while you're there, don't forget to try their wicked good beef jerky that is made right in Guilford, Maine. Call them at 207-876-4395 or visit them at 346 Water Street Monday through Saturday from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. To Rouse Garage in Dover Foxcroft to discover the difference between walking into a local dealership versus a big dealer that uses high-pressure tactics the second you drive onto the lot. From selling you a vehicle to servicing your vehicle, Rouse Garage will treat you like you are the only customer. While you're there, check out their state-of-the-art automatic car wash. Rouse Garage, call them at 207-564-3434 or visit them at 191 East Main Street in Dover Foxcroft, Maine.
Welcome back here following a timeout taken by Coach Toby Nelson and the Ponies. Gabe, what do you think Coach Nelson was talking about during that timeout here as we have a 10-2 start advantage Trojans?
I mean, relax. One word to say exactly probably what he's thinking. What are we doing? We got to relax. Play our ball, not theirs. Because right now they're playing exactly how MDI wants them to play.
And MDI has just been sharp to start this basketball game. And Jackson Smith out there on the court now. He replaced Cameron Chase. In that possession, you saw a little bit more intensity and effort out of the Ponies. Caden Crocker, always an intense and going to give you effort as a player.
Yeah.
Did so right there.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'm sure Coach Nelson gave him a good earful in that timeout.
Marsh inside. He's got Richard on him, so a little bit of a size advantage. But forced to kick that basketball back out. It's Gray with it now. Behind the back there. Picked up the dribble. Had an opportunity, did Marsh. Marsh now going all the way to the rim, thrown up and going to get fouled.
And you're already seeing Muchev's height. He's the tallest person on the floor. Not by a whole lot, but he's the tallest person on the floor, but he's not as agile as other people who are close to his height. And so he's struggling right now on the perimeter, and they're putting him in a lot of perimeter positions because they're not a team that's going to sit in the paint and just back you down.
Well, one thing that the Trojans have done just exceptionally well tonight is Marsh's first attempt off the line is the dribble penetration. And Mudichev does a lot of things very well.
Yes.
The perimeter defense is not his strongest suit, but he's been doing an all right job. Right there was just an opportunity where Marsh, as he makes the second of the two free throws, got to the rim, gets rewarded with an opportunity at the line, and the Trojans, they lead by 9. Nice pass inside to Crocker. That was a well-designed play. Crocker so strong, up and in for 2 off the assist from Jaden Richard.
I felt like you needed that one there. They pick up full court right off, which is smart. Try and get some momentum back your way.
Yeah, good job by Lorendo bringing that ball down for the Trojans. That's Gray with it now. Pony faithful starting to get into this basketball game. Student section trying to invigorate their team.
So it got real loud in here after that bucket.
Hodgson to the rim, blocked out of bounds by Adam Connor.
After that bucket.
Hodgson to the rim, blocked out of bounds by. Just good. Also good defense by Adam Connor.
Yeah, absolutely. Connor's, when he's playing well, they're playing well. He's a big difference maker for them too.
Checking into the ball game, Joseph Wellman-Klaus replacing Hodgson, who's had great minutes to start this basketball game. Marsh now. Backing into the post. That ball swung around. Lorendo now on the drive. Forced to pick up his dribble there. At times we've seen great patience out of MDI to start this basketball game. Really, truly looking for great looks, as they might have one here. Shot from the corner, up and in. Truly looking for great looks, as they might have one here. Shot from the corner, up and in.
Perfectly as you say it, they do it.
And that's just great ball movement in that situation.
Yeah, absolutely. You're giving up a good shot to get a better shot, which is a mark of a really good basketball team.
Mudachev now trying to work underneath. That's his spot. That's his shot. Ivan Mudachev, 2 points.
And that's what he needs to do. With what we were saying, there's not a lot of, he's got the size. He's a bigger dude than a lot of these guys. Use that size to get down in the paint and get a bucket.
And now backdoor cut to the rim, layup for 2.
Use that size to get down in the paint and get a bucket.
And now backdoor cut to the rim, layup. It's kind of rinse and repeat on the offensive end so far for the Trojans. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Backdoor cuts, getting to the rim as Richard, he takes a look at a 3 off the mark. Mudachev, he kept it alive, but tipped into the hands of Wellman-Klaus.
If you're Coach Nelson, I don't know if you love that shot. It was a quick shot. Didn't really give your offense a chance to really make a difference.
And on the other end, there was a battle for the rebound by 2 ponies, and it ends up in the hands of Wellman-Klaus. Going back to work on the offensive end now are the Trojans. Behind, or between the legs from Marsh there, I should say. That ball not going to be called a kick. Maybe, not sure how that rule works, but it wasn't called, so we're going back the other way. Nobody complained too much, so should all be well. On the other end, Ankrum comes away with it.
Yeah, that rule's confused me a few times. Like, you get like plays like that where,
as you see on the shot attempt there,
confused me a few times. Like, you get like plays like that where,
as you saw the replay there, courtesy of Maine Mapping Company.
They said Smith as well.
So Smith might have caught him on the body underneath, but what a play.
And then, that's his first bucket. I mean, he was the only starter not to score yet in the game. There's his first bucket, gets one like that. I guess you're going pretty good if that's how you're getting your first bucket in the game.
Absolutely, and MDI, they have a chance to extend this lead as they already lead by 12 to start this ball game. Off the mark on that attempt, Mudachev brings it down for the Ponies. Smith corralled that in transition. That's going to be a travel by Jaden Richard. Took an extra step into that ball, I think, Gabe, on the gather maybe.
Yeah, and he seems to be a little bit off so far tonight. Not necessarily being super aggressive offensively and defensively. Hasn't gone for steals.
Not off is Marsh. Nice pass underneath.
Beautiful pass in there. I mean, transition even. They look fantastic passing the ball. I mean,
what a first quarter by MDI. They lead in this ball game 20-6 as we wind down the final minute of this first quarter. Oh, going to be a hold before Lorendo held up the hand there. He knew he did.
Yeah, he knew immediately. I thought for sure they were going to call a travel because he looked like he skid his foot. But
it's typically a play where you see travel.
Yeah.
But good job by Richard. Give credit to him not dragging that pivot foot.
Yeah, absolutely. He's very good at that. Absolutely. Very good at keeping his foot on the ground at all times.
Kick to the corner. Rayfield took it to the rim. Off the mark. Good job, Ivan Mudachev. Skying in for that rebound. And Mudachev now starting to get a little bit more aggressive on the glass offensively. Ponies, they need it right now. Not shooting the ball as typical as they do in terms of shots made per attempt, but Mudachev fighting for the glass gives his team another opportunity here.
Yeah, absolutely. They need it from him. They need that size to matter today, for sure.
Now down to 41 seconds remaining in this opening quarter. Ponies still looking for an answer. Mudachev to the rim, off the mark. Follows his shot for 2. That's what the Ponies need, an aggressive, attacking Ivan Mudichev. Ankrum now off the dribble. Gives that one up, gets it back in the corner. Now taking it all the way to the rim, throws it up at the left, off the mark. Rebound, Wyatt Rayfield. Crocker up to Jackson Smith in transition. Crocker takes it. Off the mark, battle for the rebound. Jaden Richard comes away with it, 4 seconds on the clock. Doesn't know how much time's left, the clock's gonna expire. And that's gonna end the first quarter of action. Trojans 20, Ponies 8 as we head into the second quarter.
And stop by Kimball Insurance for all your insurance needs. Whether it be auto, home, farm, business, life, or health insurance, we have you covered. Our agents are ready to serve you and help you with your needs. Visit us at Kimball Insurance at 91 Main Street in Sangerville, Maine, online at KimballInsuranceAgency.com, or visit us on Facebook to see what we can do for you. Kimball's, your insurance is our business.
Ames Chiropractic Wellness Center is a practice that specializes in treating a variety of different conditions. We treat patients daily who suffer from chronic lower back and neck pain, headaches, repetitive stress disorders, work injuries, sports injuries, and more. Dr. Rick and our entire team at Ames Chiropractic are excited to welcome you to our brand new Bangor office located at 43 Longview Drive, right behind Olive Garden. Ames Chiropractic Wellness Center, helping you to naturally feel and be your very best.
Welcome back here to Foxcroft Academy as we prepare for this second quarter of action. MDI, they're up 20-8 after that opening quarter. Gabe, what do you think the break was like on the Pony side? What do you think Coach Toby Nelson and the Ponies were talking about over there?
I mean, first and foremost, you say.
Good take by Richard, just off the mark on that one. Shot you see him make.
Yeah, it can't get much worse, right? So you're kind of being like, guys, we can't get much worse than this. Let's go out there and play as hard as we can. Just play with effort. Effort's going to help us win this game.
And there's a ton of basketball game left. You're only down 12. It's
yeah.
Not the end of the world. And give a lot of credit as that ball knocked out of play. Actually, it's going to be a foul initially. So that's going to go against the Ponies. We'll see who they put that up on. Give a lot of credit to MDI for that opening quarter. They had a game plan. They implemented it. And they've been playing phenomenal basketball to start this game. There's a little bit of a conversation there. Possession arrows needed to be switched to start this second quarter. That foul goes against Wyatt Rayfield as well for the Ponies.
Yeah, this isn't the typical Foxcroft team we've seen. I mean, I guess you saw a little bit of this against Presque Isle, like playing very lackadaisical, throwing up shots, not playing like they've played really grit and grind all year long. Obviously, they're a very skilled team, but they win a lot of games because they pound the ball.
And outwork the other team for sure.
Yeah.
Keep in mind, as we mentioned in the pregame, Fernando Oliveira out with injury tonight. A key cog in what makes this Ponies team tick. Is that ball through the hands but kept alive by Ankrum on the other side. I've been very impressed with the half-court patience of the Trojans as well. Not forcing anything. Working for quality looks, and we've seen it pay off time and time again. Lorendo kick to the corner. Ankrum, clean look, makes a look. Evan Ankrum.
Even more of what we were saying, patience. I mean, how many open shots did they have right there? They took the most open one of all.
On that possession, that was fine defense by the Ponies as Rayfield on the other end off the mark. Ivan Mudichev, another offensive board.
Interesting why he didn't go back up with that. It felt like he could have just gone straight back up with that, had easy too.
Crocker fades, makes.
I mean, if you get that, I guess it doesn't really matter, right?
Absolutely, Caden Crocker, he can make that shot happen. Dangerous from anywhere in the half court.
At what point do you think, as the 5 seed, you start to worry? This is the lower seed. What are we doing?
Offensive foul there, but to get to your question, I don't think you really worry right now. There's not much time to worry. There's so much basketball left to play. You just play your heart out, leave it all out on the court. You see some more substitutions checking in here. Connor and Topolsky both check in, replacing Mudichev and Richard for the Ponies. On the other side, I believe it was 44 Gray and Marsh who checked back in. You just put in effort and intensity, and you can't really think about that right now. Right now, you're just thinking about next possession. And you've got to just keep that mindset. And that's how you get back into the basketball game. Caden Crocker on a layup doesn't hurt.
That's true. Then he's come out way more aggressive in these past minute or so.
This is a much smaller unit for the Ponies. as Lorendo. Nice take to the rim, off the mark on the shot attempt. Crocker, hound and harass from behind. That's going to be a foul against Lorendo. Gabe, there's a 10 with 2 fouls up there on the board. If that's on him, that's his third. No, actually went against number 40. Okay.
Gotcha. I was thinking the same thing.
So that's against Sosa. It says we have him on sauce, but I was corrected by Coach Norwood as that's the Sosa. Good to know.
Yeah, absolutely.
Noted. Connor takes a look at a 3, makes a 3.
And this is exactly what you didn't want to see if you're MDI.
And that's going to lead to a timeout taken by Coach Norwood and the Trojans. We're going to take a break and rejoin you in a moment.
Rouse Garage in Dover Foxcroft to discover the difference between walking into a local dealership versus a big dealer that uses high-pressure tactics the second you drive onto the lot. From selling you a vehicle to servicing your vehicle, Rouse Garage will treat you like you are the only customer. While you're there, check out their state-of-the-art automatic car wash. Rouse Garage, call them at 207-564-3434 or visit them at 191 East Main Street in Dover Foxcroft, Maine.
Welcome back here to Foxcroft Academy following the timeout taken by Coach Norwood and the MDI Trojans. Gabe, I think that timeout was obvious, a little bit of momentum starting to go the Ponies' way. Let's calm down for a second. Let's get back to our brand of basketball defensively. Offensively, they've been fine. And with a smaller group out there on the floor, different opportunities now for the Trojans offensively.
Yeah, absolutely. And you settle the crowd down by taking that timeout. You kind of get everybody a breath.
And that's going to be a travel underneath. Good defense there by Wyatt Rayfield. Travel against Lorendo.
I will point out, the coaches during that timeout for Foxcroft were talking to Jaden Richard. They were trying to calm him down. It seems that he's riled up. I mean, he hasn't scored yet. I think he's probably a little bit frustrated. I think they're trying to get him back in this game because he seems to have taken himself out of it for a second there.
Crocker now for the Ponies. Pass inside. That's Rayfield. Going up to the rim. That's a jump ball, and that's a good call. Great defense on the interior. And that's going to go back to the Trojans.
And there was probably 3 green shirts with a hand on that ball, and it was all ball for all 3 of them. And that just shows the defense that they've been playing so far.
And the Ponies, they're coming out in a full court pressure here. Smaller unit, keeping up in the full court, but good job by Lorendo, able to just bring that ball up for MDI without much of a problem there. Handoff there, that's Gray. Back over to Wellman Klaus. Marsh inside, nice extra pass. Shot attempt off the mark, batted around into the hands of Marsh. Marsh for 2. And that's the trade-off of going to a smaller lineup for the Ponies. Marsh going to work on the boards at the other end. Going to pick up the foul. Adam Connor to the line for 2.
That all happened very quickly. They pushed that ball very quickly, which, I mean, hey, if it's going to work for you like that, keep doing it.
Yeah, and I took 1 second to write a note in the book there. Look back up, and Adam Connor's to the free throw line.
Literally.
Connor good on his first attempt. Connor doesn't always get the recognition on this Ponies team, but he's just a consistent basketball player where you know what to expect out of him night out, night in. Good on the second there as well. He's got 5 points this quarter.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and he has nights, I mean, I can't remember which game it was that we were here, but recently he had a game where he hit like 4 threes in the game. I mean, he has games where he explodes too, so he's consistent, but he also gives you that top end ceiling too where he can get you a lot of points too.
Absolutely. Trojans trying to get back into the swing of their offense, just the 5 points this quarter, but Marsh going to work, doing a great job, offensive board, up and in for 2. Get out of the way and let Marsh go to work underneath.
He has been,
Adam Connor maybe feeling a little bit heat check right there, off the mark on the 3.
That's to say, he almost made me look real smart by talking about him making some threes.
That ball kicked out of bounds, going to go back to the Ponies. 10-point advantage for the Trojans.
Marsh has really made this team go for MDI.
Topolsky, clean look at a 3, off the mark. Good rebound, Jackson Smith. Crocker to the rim for 2. Contorted his body on that attempted Crocker. He's got 6 this quarter.
I'll tell you what, you may not be able to say that Foxcroft has had everything go right, but this quarter, Crocker and Connor have been on their game. Both huge for this team.
The effort and intensity definitely on display. Either side giving it their all, especially this second quarter. Lorendo swung that ball across the wing. Drive here, nice shot fake. Able to stop on a dime. And Evan Ankrum just Mr. Consistent so far this game. 9 points on the ball game. Rayfield from the corner. Off the mark, Marsh battles for it. Tipped into the arms of Cal Hodgson. Trojans going the other way. Nice shot fake. Lorendo over to Marsh. Back to Ankrum. Going back to work inside is Marsh. Turned away by Jackson Smith. Pair of substitutions checking in now. It's going to be Ivan Mudichev and Jaden Richard returning, replacing Wyatt Rayfield and Jackson Smith.
Interesting that they keep the smaller guards on the floor and you keep bigger bigs. So it's very balanced for this.
And that's going to be a team control foul. I want to see if that was on a screen or potentially a push-off there. See who they put that one on the board against. Going to go against Cal Hodgson there. So didn't quite see how he was involved on the action there. But either way, offensive foul going the other way. That's the 16th foul against the Trojans. So from here on out, it'll be 1-1. Topolsky from the corner, that one short. Rebound, Marsh adds another rebound to his night.
Yeah, I mean, we've said so much about how Foxcroft's come out better in the second quarter, right?
That shot came after the foul there. No NBA continuation tonight, so that's going to be on the floor and it going against Silas Topolsky of the Ponies.
Yeah, but like I was saying, we said so much about how Foxcroft has played so much better in the second quarter, though they've only cut into this lead by 2. It's still a 10-point game, which tells you really how well MDI is playing this game. That even when Foxcroft is looking really good, MDI is just continuing to calm the storm and keep their lead. They've
definitely had answers for the second quarter pushes as Hodgson off the mark there. Rebound swallowed up inside by Ivan Mudichev. Adds another one. Topolsky drives on that attempt, up and in for 2. His first points of the ball game. 8-point ball game, 1:58 remaining in this first half of action. Reminder, stick around at halftime for the Black Bear Crane halftime show. Foul in this situation. Couple of options to see who that foul went against. Is going to go against Silas Topolsky. 5th team foul, so we're almost into the bonus either way here. Ball played into Hodgson. Extra pass. Gray now. Dribble handoff, almost a backdoor cut there. Lorendo gives off to Marsh. Marsh just short, gets his own miss, up and in for 2. Marsh, 6 points on the quarter, 11 points on the game.
He's one of that extra rebound on his stat sheet.
And that's Mudichev, cross-court pass to Crocker. Great defense by Marsh on the interior. Now Crocker kicks to the corner. Topolsky makes a 3. Topolsky off the bench, 5 points on the quarter.
You know, in a game like this, where they've been able to answer it, you need someone to step up and really make that difference. Topolsky's been great off the bench so far.
He has indeed. Hodgson now gives it up to Lorendo. Wouldn't be shocked if they tried to work for one shot here. What do I know? That ball taken all the way to the rim. Auto contact, no call. Richard has it now. Richard, transition, layup, off the mark. Brought down by Ankrum. Timeout taken by Coach Norwood and the Trojans. We're going to keep it here. Gabe, what do you think they're talking about late into this first half here?
Oh, man, I mean, if you're MDI, it's just keep enforcing your will, right? When we've seen Foxcroft play their game, that fast-paced press, make this game crazy, Foxcroft's been able to push back into the lead. For MDI, you want to slow this game down. Play your half-court sets, what you've been playing, get the best shots available, take a lot of time off the clock. So if you're them, you got to keep doing that. If you're the Ponies, you got to force the issue. If you can force the issue, you're gonna keep cutting into this lead. And they should have had a bucket there by Richard, a shot that he normally makes. But yeah, they've been able to claw back in because of that.
Yeah, and give credit to that transition defense was there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Definitely interrupted that shot by Richard. But 7-point margin, 42.5 remaining in this first half of basketball. 5 teams fouls against the Ponies, 6 against the Trojans. Relatively clean first half here, Gabe.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we've seen really good, clean, active.
Speaking of clean, turnover on that possession goes back to the Ponies with 27 seconds left.
I was about to say active hands, too. It would have worked perfect. But, yeah, you've seen the active hands from the Foxcroft. I mean, it's just been, from both sides, very good sound defense without fouling. Great.
That's a heads-up play there by Jaden Richard. In that situation, he had the presence of mind to understand where he needed to be to get that defender behind him. You stop on a dime, it's a foul. And that's free throws for Jaden Richard now, 1-1.
Well, especially a guy that quick. You're running to try and keep up with him, and he just stops. What are you supposed to do?
Yeah,
it's a good.
It's tough. Richard, good on the first attempt there.
Super smart play by Richard.
Such high basketball IQ. And first point of the ball game, opportunity to add to it now. Off the mark, rebound batted around. Ankrum comes away with it. Now in transition are the Trojans. All the way to the rim now. Shot thrown up. That's going to be a block underneath against Silas Topolsky. He had positioning, but it did look like he was on the back pedal there.
Yeah, it did. It looked like he was still moving. He looked like he had his, like you said, his body was square to the defender, but he was still going back in. Stopped yet.
And now free throws at the other end for Evan Ankrum. Second free throws, I should say, attempted by the Trojans tonight. Marsh went 1 of 2 in that first quarter. Ankrum knocks down his first there. And that was the third on Topolsky. Came off the bench tonight, but great minutes.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean,
second one good as well for Ankrum.
Coming off the bench like that, you're just looking for a spark. Give us a spark. I don't care if you get me 3 fouls. Just go out there and get us a spark. Get us back into this game, which he's done.
Connor gives it up to Crocker. Probably an isolation situation. You're going to see 4 spread along the baseline or a high screen here. Crocker, I think he thought about the 3 there. Kicks out to Richard. 2 seconds remaining. That's going to be a player control foul going the other way. MDI is going to get the ball back. They're going to have a chance. 1.8 on the clock.
They were trying to lobby for the ref to give them some shots, even though it was an offensive foul. They almost had it, I think.
Not quite how that works, but Wellman Klaus to end the half. Off the mark. That's how the first half of action is going to expire here. MDI, they lead 33, Ponies 25. Stick around for the Black Bear Crane halftime show coming in a moment.
Sluggers baseball and softball training offers a variety of classes and leagues to expose you to a wider view of the game. Sluggers leads the way in baseball and softball training with industry-leading technology such as HitTrax that combines a traditional batting cage experience with modern analytics, all from the virtual diamond of your favorite ballpark. Check out Sluggers today on Facebook, schedule online, or call 207-951-2250 to start your journey with the best training staff around. Excellence starts at Sluggers.
Brothers Meats is a family-owned and operated business located in Guilford, Maine. We operate a local retail meat market along with a slaughterhouse, smokehouse, and processing plants. Herring Brothers has all sorts of meats from already pre-cut all the way to cutting it right on the spot for you. Also, while you're there, don't forget to try their wicked good beef jerky that is made right in Guilford, Maine. Call them at 207-876-4395 or visit them at 346 Water Street Monday through Saturday from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. Go and stop by Kimball Insurance for all your insurance needs. Whether it be auto, home, farm, business, life, or health insurance, we have you covered. Our agents are ready to serve you and help you with your needs. Visit us at Kimball Insurance at 91 Main Street in Sangerville, Maine, online at KimballInsuranceAgency.com, or visit us on Facebook to see what we can do for you. Kimball's, your insurance is our business. Rouse Garage in Dover Foxcroft to discover the difference between walking into a local dealership versus a big dealer that uses high-pressure tactics the second you drive onto the lot. From selling you a vehicle to servicing your vehicle, Rouse Garage will treat you like you are the only customer. While you're there, check out their state-of-the-art automatic car wash. Rouse Garage, call them at 207-564-3434 or visit them at 191 East Main Street in Dover Foxcroft, Maine.
Ames Chiropractic Wellness Center is a practice that specializes in treating a variety of different conditions. We treat patients daily who suffer from chronic lower back and neck pain, headaches, repetitive stress disorders, work injuries, sports injuries, and more. Dr. Rick and our entire team at Ames Chiropractic are excited to welcome you to our brand new Bangor office located at 43 Longview Drive, right behind Olive Garden. Ames Chiropractic Wellness Center, helping you to naturally feel and be your very best.
Folks, let's get started. Parents, thanks for coming. As many of you know, I'm Coach Mather. Tonight I want to talk about the season, of which I only have one expectation: that everybody gets stronger. When I say get stronger, I'm not referring solely to physical strength. Sure, we'll be in the weight room, we'll be running stairs, but we're also going to focus on developing mental toughness and grit, because those are the characteristics that allow us to achieve greatness both on and off the court. So, how do we develop those things? By getting comfortable with a challenge, by cultivating the confidence necessary to overcome adversity in all forms. That's why I coach. That's my purpose. Every member of this team can lean on me, and I'll teach them how they can lean on themselves and each other.
This message presented by the MPA and the Maine Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
And stop by Kimball Insurance for all your insurance needs. Whether it be auto, home, farm, business, life, or health insurance, we have you covered. Our agents are ready to serve you and help you with your needs. Visit us at Kimball Insurance at 91 Main Street in Sangerville, Maine, online at KimballInsuranceAgency.com, or visit us on Facebook to see what we can do for you. Kimball's, your insurance is our business.
WA.
Welcome back here, and thank you for rejoining us on the Black Bear Crane halftime show. An exciting first half it was. MDI, they lead at halftime 33-25. And Gabe, let's kind of look over back on the stats, at least some of the scores from that first half. I'll go down the list for the Ponies here and what the Ponies were able to do. Had a nice second quarter. After only scoring 8 in the opening, 17 in the second quarter. So their offense got going. They kind of woke up on that side of the ball, played much better executionally, but also it was the energy. So the energy really picked up in that second quarter for the Ponies. And in the first half, Jaden Richard, he had a 1 point coming off a free throw late into that second quarter. Silas Topolsky off the bench, he had 5. Cameron Chase earlier on in the game, he had 2 points. Keaton Crocker, he leads the Ponies at halftime. He has 8. Adam Connor, he had 5, all of which came in that second quarter. And Ivan Mudachev, 4, which came in that opening quarter of action. What about the Trojans?
Yeah, the MDI over here, we have Landrell, who has 2. He got his 2 right in the beginning of the game. Hodgson had a 3 in the first quarter. Marsh had 5 in the first quarter, 6 in the second, puts him at 11 for the first half. I mean, he's been driving force so far. Akram, same thing. He had 4 in the first quarter, 7 in the second quarter, puts him at 11 too. So they're going right neck and neck for leading this team right now. And then Gray has 2 threes, having 6.
And at this time, we do want to take the opportunity to thank some of the sponsors who have joined on for some tournament coverage. Maine High School basketball, keep in mind, we will have live audio broadcasts at the Cross Insurance Center, so stay tuned for those. You can check out the schedule on EasternMaineSports.com or all of our social pages. We would like to thank Sibley Transportation for sponsoring our tournament coverage. They have reliable shipping, freight, brokerage, and warehousing. They have been a family business since 1910 and have offered great service for just as long. Go to SibleyTransport.com to get a quote today. If you need a place to stay during tourney week, check out Bangor Grand Hotel. Make it your home away from home. Check out the newly renovated rooms, heated pool, lounge, event center, and live entertainment. All guests get free breakfast at the Blue Sky Lounge, located just west of I-95 on the northwest corner of I-395 and Alden Road in Bangor. Make Bangor Grand your tournament stay. Downtown with Rich Kimball is proud to be a sponsor of coverage of the 2023 high school basketball tournament. Downtown is the place to turn for entertainment, sports, and radio's best guest list, weekdays from 4 to 6 p.m. on WZON, AM 620, and streaming worldwide at downtownwithrichkimball.com. Black Bear Crane. Black Bear Crane is a family-owned and operated crane and rigging service provider located in Herman, covering the state of Maine with cranes from 27 to 240 tons, from roof trusses, HVAC units, steel and precast erection to modular home communications equipment. Call 977-BEAR today. Dexter Municipal Golf Course is opening up membership enrollment for the 2023 season. Individual adult memberships start at $450, but capture a 10% discount if paid by April 15th. Dexter Muni is also offering a 20% discount to those who weren't members last season. That's unlimited greens fees at Dexter Municipal Golf Course in the 2023 season for only $360. The early bird gets the worm. Call 924-2245 for more info. That's 924-2245. Dexter Municipal Golf Course. So, Gabe, 2 minutes, 50 seconds remaining at the halftime here. Trojans, they're back to their bench. No one shooting around right now. Well, maybe that's because the basketballs weren't out. Now the basketballs are out, so maybe we'll see some shots put up. What do you think the Trojans talked about during their halftime?
I mean, you reiterate that the first quarter was fantastic, right? You came out, played your best ball, got yourself a lead, and you played the game that you wanted to play. The second quarter, Foxcroft was able to muck this game up a little bit. And I think you, as MDI's coach, you got to say, hey, let's slow this thing down. Let's play a ball. Let's get open shots, which is what they really weren't getting at the end of the second half.
What do you think for the Pony side as they now return to their bench?
Keep playing the way you were playing the second quarter, right? I mean, you cut 4 into this deficit, was 12, now it's 8. You keep doing that, we're going into overtime at the end of the night, which I wouldn't mind that.
Look at that math out of your game. That was good.
I had to do it before I was thinking, but see, if you can keep that pace, you're looking good. It's just, can you keep that pace? Can you continue to keep your foot on the gas for as long as you can? Can you continue to get people off the bench making a difference?
Do have a couple more score updates for you from basketball around the state. WA 64, Mount View 61. That's a final score there, so WA advances. PVHS 34 over Panquist, 34-25 as I was reading the handwriting there. That's a final score as well, so PVHS, they advance. All right, Gabe, we're in the final minute, 15 seconds of halftime here. Great first half. I expect to see a little bit of some chaos this second half. I mean, we're in win or go home basketball. Yeah. And I said early on in the broadcast when we were in the pregame, the pressure's on the Ponies. And I think in that first quarter, maybe they were feeling that a little bit, some of that pressure, a little bit more tentative than we're seeing out of them. I think that kind of wore away in the second quarter. They started playing their brand of basketball, and now we'll see what happens after halftime. But the Trojans have been doing a fantastic job playing exactly the role they're supposed to have. Play loose, play free, but play disciplined. And that's what we saw in that first half. Great offensive execution. Get back a little bit to what you were doing that opening quarter on the defensive side of things. They're going to be tough to catch in this second half.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I expect an extremely frantic pace from both sides. I mean, we're going to get in the fourth quarter, right? And if this game is still as close as it is right now, you're going to have both teams. We're going to see people flying all over the floor. I mean, you can just see it from these two teams that they're going to scrap. You know what I mean? And so I would expect to see a pretty frantic pace for the second half.
The Ponies, they will get the ball to start this second half. It's Richard with it now. Going to receive the screen from Mudachev. Going to go all the way to the rim, throws it up with the left, off the mark. Brought down by Connor, who kicked it out to Richard, over to Mudachev, off the mark. Chase, another offensive rebound on that possession. Connor to Crocker. Crocker lines up a look, off the mark. Another, almost an offensive rebound, I should say. I thought Chase was going to bring that ball down. Did for a moment, but knocked out of his hands, back to the Trojans.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's the way you want to start for Foxcroft. I mean, you got to knock down one of those shots, but that's exactly the way you want to start.
And Lorendo actually made a great basketball play right there, but good active hands by Chase, and the Ponies on the interior knocked that pass away. Stopped a layup. A little bit of some confusion offensively on this possession for the Ponies. Jaden Richard going to back it up, reset the offense here.
Give everybody a second to breathe and then go back at it.
And Marsh knocked that ball into the backcourt. It was tipped. Richard trying to get all the way to the rim. He's going to get fouled. Richard trying to get all the way to the rim. Third, I believe it is.
See, I thought maybe, because I remember earlier you were saying there was 2 and it might have been 3, but
yeah,
they called on him.
A close play that could have been a third foul in that opening half. He's going to stay in here, Gabe. Richard good on the first. 2 points, all of which have come from the free throw line. Put a lot of trust in your point guard here. 6:53 remaining in the third quarter, I should say. Plenty of time as Mudachev got the offensive rebound. Off on the layup, Connor. Third shot opportunity, able to convert. Now the Ponies coming out into full court pressure. Lorendo, that's tipped away into the arms of Ivan Mudachev. Pushing it up, Crocker. Layup, good. I wouldn't be surprised here if we see a timeout taken, and we will. Coach Norwood wants to talk it over. We're going to take a break and rejoin you in a moment.
Rouse Garage in Dover Foxcroft to discover the difference between walking into a local dealership versus a big dealer that uses high-pressure tactics the second you drive onto the lot. From selling you a vehicle to servicing a vehicle, Rouse Garage will treat you like you are the only customer. While you're there, check out their state-of-the-art automatic car wash. Rouse Garage, call them at 207-564-3434 or visit them at 191 East Main Street in Dover Foxcroft, Maine. Brothers Meats is a family-owned and operated business located in Guilford, Maine. We operate a local retail meat market along with a slaughterhouse, smokehouse, and processing plants. Herring Brothers has all sorts of meats from already pre-cut all the way to cutting it right on the spot for you. Also, while you're there, don't forget to try their wicked good beef jerky that is made right in Guilford, Maine. Call them at 207-876-43.
Welcome back here. Both sides came out a little early from the timeout there. Ponies, they're in a full court pressure situation. Ankrum. That ball tipped away from behind. Might have been Crocker that got a hand on it. He's going to go all the way to the rim, up and in for two. Caden Crocker, grown man's take all the way to the rack there.
Tell you what, I think we're at I want to 6. I'll be wrong.
Well, Lorendo brought that down. Opportunity, big time answer.
I was going to say it was a 7-0 run. I had to do the math real quick, but 7-3 now, I guess.
And Gray gets the scoring started in the second half for the Trojans. Richard kind of threw up a fadeaway there. What a big shot by Alex Gray. Calm the momentum a little bit there.
Yeah, absolutely. You kind of get the crowd kind of quiet again. You can kind of catch your breath again with a 3 like that.
And it ended a 7-0 run. Mudachev, active hands, gets a turnover. Richard now takes it all the way to the rim. That's going to be an offensive foul. We're going the other way. Takes it all the way to the rim. That's going to be an offensive by Lorendo.
I'll tell you, that takes.
That was bang bang, Gabe.
Yeah, it was one right after the other, and it's a big foul either way, right? Because if Landau gets it, that's his 4th, and then you're really in trouble if you're MDI. But Richard's 2nd. I mean, you get him in a little bit of foul trouble too. That was a big play both ways, and it was bang bang. I mean, I don't know if you can get any closer than that.
And now Richard getting told to settle down here. A little bit of maybe some frustration on the other end. Trying to play tough physical defense. Ball finally played in, but that's going to be batted around, almost taken away by Crocker there. Richard got to be careful, almost picked up another foul in that situation. Gray now. Good tip by Adam Connor. This is that chaos I was talking about at right before we came back. Shot put up, batted around. Lorendo, that's going to be a foul against Ivan Mudachev.
Yeah, I thought we were going to see a frantic pace more in the 4th quarter. I guess the two teams came out and said, let's start right off the bat and
not
be frantic.
wasting any time. That's Mudachev's 2nd, by the way.
And I mean, you really can't, right? I mean, it's a prelim game. Win or go home. You have to just come out and give everything every second of this game. Why not come out and be crazy?
It's a 4-point game at the moment. Marsh shut off on the drive there by Mudachev. Nice take to the rim. That's going to be a foul. See if it's before or on the shot there. Looks like they're going to call it potentially before. See who gets whistled for the foul there. That's Connor, just his 1st. 4-point margin, 5:06 remaining. Pass along the baseline. Marsh back out. Clean look. Off the mark on 3. Richard, he comes away with it. In transition now. Throws up a circus shot for 2. Richard, he comes away. Foul from behind. Gonna go against Ivan Mudachev. How about some tilt-a-whirl. 360 on the arms.
I mean, that was wild. At first, I was nervous for him because he went straight into the body. I thought he was going to get another charge with the way he was going in, and then he kind of avoided, and then I don't know what he did, but he ended up going in. So
great body control. That was close, though.
Yeah.
That cuts it to a 2-point margin. Lorendo trying to get things going again for this Trojan offense. Nice extra pass inside. Marsh off on the mark. Got his own miss. Rebound, 2 points. And you've seen Brandon Marsh make that play time and time again tonight. Crocker to the rim, off the mark. Marsh comes away with a rebound. Pass ahead, that's Ankrum with it.
You know, it's certainly a little bit tricky too. You're seeing guys give a little bit elbows to it. I mean, we'll see if they...
That's going to be a foul. See if it's called against Mudichev. If it is, it's his 4th. No, they're going to call that against Chase. So that's just his 1st.
Yeah. Well, perfectly in time, because what I was about to say was two teams are getting a little bit trippy. I'm interested to see how they'll call it, if they'll call things a little bit more tight, because it's starting to get a little bit frantic, like we were talking about.
And the crowd, they're into it. Lorendo good on the 1st. Rayfield's going to check in, replacing Chase. Another free throw coming. Off on the second, brought down by Mudichev. Richard to Rayfield. Back to Crocker. Corner Rayfield. Mudichev from the free throw line. Off the mark. Rebound, Lorendo.
I'll tell you what, if MDI, if it is still close on the stretch, MDI needs to fix their free throws. They are not shooting particularly well from the free throw line tonight.
There could be a major key down the stretch. Lorendo off the mark there. In a tight game, free throws typically can dictate a basketball game.
Yeah, absolutely.
We've got some time before we get to that point. That ball was tipped on the way up. Richard able to pass it away. That was Smith back to Crocker. Crocker had a clean look, and he can make that shot. He's proven that throughout the regular season. Speaking of proving you can make a shot, Gray off the mark there, but he's having a nice ball game. 3 3-pointers so far.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we are going up and down. Goodness, this is high-paced, high energy right now.
And Jaden Richard trying to keep that trend going. Foul on the way up. That's Lorendo's 4th. So that's a pretty major foul out of the primary ball handler. They're going to see if that's 2 shots or if that's going to be called in baseline. And that's going to bring Wellman Klaus back into the ball game. That's tough.
Yeah, that's huge, because he's been the guy who's been able to run their offense. It's you don't want to see him go out. I mean, unless you're a Foxcroft fan, then I guess you're pretty okay with it.
A little bit of a miscommunication on the inbounds there, almost taken away by the Trojans. Richard's now going to have it, guarded by newly into the ball game, Wellman Klaus. Richard all the way to the rim, layup good. Ball quickly played in, don't want to contend with this Ponies press, and that's going to be a foul against Wyatt Rayfield. Definitely starting to get called closer as we get into this late 3rd quarter. It's going to be free throws rest of the way for the Trojans here. So free throw shooting is going to quickly start to matter here.
Yeah, and like I was saying earlier, if you're MDI, you might want to find out a way to start making them, because I think they're shooting 50% right now, and that's not going to cut it if you want to win this game.
Gray now. He's had a nice ball game. Nice fake, extra pass inside. That's Marsh with it. Off the mark on the layup attempt. Rebound, Crocker.
That's the look you wanted.
Crocker kicks out. Wyatt Rayfield, clean look, makes a look. Tie, ball game.
This is the first time since 0-0 that we've been tied, so that tells you how this game's gone so far.
It's offensive foul. That's going to be called against Hodgson. He's got to be careful here. You can't talk too much to the officials in this type of a situation.
Yeah, with how high intensity this is right now, you got to be careful with what. I mean, even just talking to the official in general right now. I mean, it's gonna be they're amped just like everybody else is, and if you come up to them and you start yelling at them, it's not gonna take very long for them to tee you up.
We are back into the ball game for the Trojans here. Tie ball game. 2:07 remaining, 3rd quarter. Jaden Richard to the rim. Going to be fouled hard on the way up. Might have been called a pass. I think that's going to go along the baseline. That's going to go against Wellman Klaus, his 3rd. And they're going to say he was up for a shot attempt there. So Richard headed back to the free throw line. He's 2 of 4 on the ball game. So free throw is going to matter for the ponies, too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Good on the first.
He's come alive in this quarter, though, too. You're looking at him. He's already off, 6 in this game? In this quarter,
Six in the quarter, yeah.
So he needed this to get back on track.
Off on the second attempt, though. That's the first lead for the ponies. Not just tonight, but they never led against the Prescott Wildcats, which was their final regular season game. So it's their first lead in quite a while.
Yeah. I don't know what that math is exactly, but it's got to be close to like 50 minutes, I think.
Take at the rim. That's Hodgson off on the layup attempt. Richards come away with it. MDI's doing the right thing. Richard behind the back. Shot off the mark. MDI's doing the right things. They just can't buy a basket late into this third quarter.
Yeah, it kind
looking to change that now.
It kind of feels like we've switched, right? MDI, much like Foxcroft last half, was doing things right a lot of the time, but nothing was falling. And now you're kind of seeing the opposite way. MDI.
Nice take there.
Can't get anything to go.
And that's going to be Ankrum headed back to the free throw line. Made his previous 2 attempts in that second quarter. 1:13 remaining in this third quarter. Chance to give the lead back to the Trojans here. Ethan Sosa going to be checking in next opportunity, which is now for the Trojans. Checking back into Silas Topolsky and Adam Connor for the ponies, replacing Jackson Smith and Ivan Mudichev. Cal Hodgson was the one who came out for MDI.
That's his first points second half after having 11 in the first half. So
that tinged off the iron 1 or 2 times and fell in. Gives the lead back to the Trojans. 1:10 now in the third quarter.
That's what we call a shooter's touch right there.
Absolutely, he has it. Crocker to the rim. He's going to be fouled.
I know we got the foul call there, but I don't know if I love that from Crocker, right? He just kind of threw it up and didn't try and keep going through it. He's strong enough to keep going through that, get the and one. I'd like to see him try and fight through that instead of just chucking it up looking for a foul.
Crocker, first attempt from the free throw line, rolls in. We had a game a few weeks ago now where Caden Crocker went a perfect 10 of 10 in the fourth quarter to ice that game away against the Dexter Tigers in a big win for the ponies, as Crocker perfect on these attempts. 6 on the quarter for him.
Well, they'll need it again if they're going to win this game.
Wellman Klaus, uncontested layup at the rim. That's the give and take of the full court pressure. As Richard going to the rim, left hand, good. Oh, you get a layup and you get a layup.
Looks like we're going to have a heavyweight battle for the rest of this game.
Yeah, now it's back and forth between these two clubs. Ankrum with it now. Drive shut off by Richard. That's going to be a blocking foul called against Jaden Richard, and free throws coming.
Yeah, absolutely. He didn't have position there. He kind of tried to get his way in there last second, and he wasn't set by the time the guy came in, it looked like to me.
It was a reasonable idea, just slightly off on the timing, and that's his third foul. So I wouldn't be surprised if we saw a substitution, as Ankrum good on the first of the 1-and-1 here. Well, maybe in this situation you try to play for last shot anyways. So you don't, Richard not too much of a risk here late in this third quarter, as Ankrum a perfect 6 of 6 on the night from the free throw line.
Tell you what, if you're shooting free throws late in this game, you want it in his hands. That is for sure.
And he's got 15 on the ball game. Given up to Rayfield. Pony's going to waste some time to wind down this third quarter.
And I will say, this run to end this quarter, this last like 2 or 3 minutes for Foxcroft.
That ball stolen away. Wellman Klaus, 3 seconds on the clock. Ankrum kicks it to the corner. Shot off the mark. That put up by Ethan Sosa. That's how the third quarter is going to end. MDI, they lead 45, Ponies 44. We're going to take a break.
Treating a variety of different conditions. We treat patients daily who suffer from chronic lower back and neck pain, headaches, repetitive stress disorders, work injuries, sports injuries, and more. Dr. Rick and our entire team at Ames Chiropractic are excited to welcome you to our brand new Bangor office located at 43 Longview Drive, right behind Olive Garden. Ames Chiropractic Wellness Center, helping you to naturally feel and be your very best.
and stop by Kimball Insurance for all your insurance needs. Whether it be auto, home, farm, business, life, or health insurance, we have you covered. Our agents are ready to serve you and help you with your needs. Visit us at Kimball Insurance at 91 Main Street in Sangerville, Maine, online at KimballInsuranceAgency.com, or visit us on Facebook to see what we can do for you. Kimball's, your insurance is our business.
Here we go.
Welcome back here to Foxcroft Academy as we prepare for this fourth quarter of action. Gabe, a fourth quarter that's sizing up to be very exciting.
Yeah, this is as
Ball played in.
goodness, no time to talk about anything other than what's happening on the floor at this moment with how these two teams are playing.
You know, the pace was at sometimes a little bit slower in that first half as that ball batted around. Topolsky brings it down. It has been anything but slow in this second half of action. Connor to the rim, throws up a layup off the mark. Good job on the rebound there. Now MDI working.
I was saying at the end of the third quarter, too, there's 3 MDI starters on the bench right now.
Yeah.
That's when Foxcroft made their run, was on all 3 of them on the bench. You're going to see one of them come back in, but it's going to be interesting to see what happens once MDI gets their starters back in. You kept them out a while, and it's now close. So
keep in mind, Spencer Lorindo has 4 fouls.
Yeah.
Part of the reason he's on the bench at the moment. Topolsky, kick. Connor with it. Crocker now taking some time on this possession. Crocker now pulls up, makes a shot just inside the free throw line, gives the Ponies back the lead. And wide open at the other end, foul. Ankrum headed to the line, 2 free throws. That's exactly how you break through a press.
absolutely, and I believe that's the second on Connor. If I'm correct, and I am.
And that was the 9th team foul. So everything outside of an offensive foul is going to be 2 free throws rest of the way for the Trojans. Ankrum. Nylon on the first. $16 points on the game.
We see Marsh for the first time in a while, too.
Second one rolls off the mark, but that's going to be batted out of bounds off of Ivan Mudichev. Good action inside by Veer. Able to keep that ball alive, and ultimately was knocked out off of Pony. Nice layup off the backside, off the mark there. Knocked out of play, back to the Ponies.
I believe he thought that Marsh was still in the corner over there, and he was going to tip it to him. But
ball played into Crocker. Wellman Klaus now guarding Richard. There's a lot of the tempo setting for this Ponies offense. Having to contend now with the tough defense of Wellman Klaus as Crocker now drives to the rim. Adam Connor throws up a shot off the mark. Close there by Mudichev. Almost over the back, but going the other way. Nice pass to the corner. Wellman Klaus to the rim. Layup off the mark. Ankrum back out now. That's Sosa. Pace is definitely picking up. We are back out. Wellman Klaus. Ankrum calling out the play. Take to the rim. Pass back out. Patience on this possession. Corner. Clean look. Off the mark. Offensive rebound again. Pass inside. Layup off the mark. Ivan Mudichev. There's a lid on the rim on that trip down. Had a lot of clean looks there for the Trojans. Topolsky from the corner. Off the mark. Good job by Marsh. Able to get that basketball away. Close to a foul on the other side there.
Yeah, it looked like there could have been 2 different fouls there. Wow.
They're letting them play on this possession down. Crocker comes away with it in transition. Goes back on the left side. That's going to go against Wellman Klaus. That's his 4th. Jackson Smith going to be checking into the ballgame for the Ponies. Alex Gray and Cal Hodgson for the Trojans. That was actually against number 23.
I don't think there's a 23 on the floor.
I don't think there's a 23 on the floor as well, so they're discussing. Oh. I think they thought that was against Caden Crocker.
Oh. Is that what we're saying?
There's a discussion now because I was confused as well because Green doesn't have a 23.
Yeah.
White does, and that's Caden Crocker, so that would have meant that was an offensive foul. But I don't believe that was the initial call made there.
14, it looks like.
Yeah, Wellman, Klaus, we're
that
back.
makes more sense.
This is the benefit of having 3 officials.
That's the truth. That's why it's important to have 3 officials for a big game like this, too.
Is indeed now 46-46, 5:16 remaining. Richard in the corner now. Drive to the rim. Layup good. Jaden Richard, 10 points this second half. 11 on the game.
If you're the MDI coach, at what point do you start thinking about bringing Landreau back in the game?
I think soon, if you can afford to.
That's what I'd be thinking, right? You see your offense is looking kind of clunky with him out.
Wellman Klaus, though, off the mark. Battle for the offensive rebound, brought down again by the Trojans, dominating the offensive glass this quarter.
And at some point, you got to trust that your point guard won't get a foul, right?
Another man you can trust is Gray, off the mark on that attempt. Marsh kept it alive. Ivan Mudachev in transition. That's going to be a travel initially. It was. Shuffled the feet there. It's tough for the Pony fans here, I understand, but
yeah,
just a little too much there in transition.
Yep. I mean, and there was no fight from Coach Nelson either. He was like, "Yep, you're right." So I mean, that should tell you enough.
Ankrum now going to the rim, shot up, off the mark. Good defense there by Mudachev underneath. Definitely disrupted that shot. And Lorendo checking back in, next opportunity for the Trojans. Crocker trying to work to the rim, kind of threw up a shot there. Ends up in the arms of Jackson Smith. And that's going to be a foul and free throws coming. Jackson Smith going to be the one headed to the line. That foul is going to go against Alex Gray, just his second. Rayfield for the Ponies replaces Topolsky. Lorendo replaces Wellman Klaus.
And for as much as that has happened in this fourth quarter, I think we only have, 5 points total between the two teams?
It's been the effort and energy.
Yeah, absolutely.
Jackson Smith, good on the first. Free throws are always big, but the front end of a 1-and-1 feels even bigger.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, without that, you don't get the second shot, and then
momentum as well.
Yeah.
And good on the second is Smith, his first 2 points of the ball game.
So many things can change if you don't make that first in the 1-on-1.
And now 50-46, Ponies lead. Timeout taken by Coach Norwood and the Ponies. We're going to keep it here. Want to take the opportunity to thank some of the sponsors who have helped make these broadcasts possible. We'd like to thank Sibley Transportation for sponsoring our tournament coverage. They have reliable shipping, freight, brokerage, and warehousing. They have been a family business since 1910 and have offered great service for just as long. Go to SibleyTransport.com to get a quote. If you need a place to stay during tourney week, check out Bangor Grand Hotel. Make it your home away from home. Check out our newly renovated rooms, heated pool, lounge, event center, and live entertainment. All guests get free breakfast at the Blue Sky Lounge restaurant, located just west of I-95 and northwest corner of I-395 and Audlin Road in Bangor. Make Bangor Grand your tournament stay. Downtown with Rich Kimball is proud to be a sponsor of coverage of the 2023 high school basketball tournament. Downtown is the place to turn for entertainment, sports, and radio's best guest list. Weekdays from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. on WZON, AM 620, and streaming worldwide at downtownwithrichkimball.com. Black Bear Cranes, a family-owned and operated crane and rigging service provider located in Herman. Covering the state of Maine with cranes from 27 to 240 tons. From roof trusses, HVAC units, steel and precast erection to modular home and communications equipment. Call 977-BEAR today. All right, 4 minutes exactly on the clock here, Gabe. 4-point lead for the Ponies.
Yeah, we're in for a wild 4 minutes. I mean, we've been in for a wild second half, but I expect the last 4 minutes to be even more wild.
Nice pass inside. Marsh turned away by Ivan Mudachev. Rayfield has it. Going to slow things down for a moment for the Ponies.
Smart. They've been going too fast in transition these past few possessions. Smart to pull it out, give them a second to really compose themselves and go.
And Richard used up as much as he could as that call there. That's Lorendo's 5th foul. Tried to draw the offensive, and that's going to be free throws for Jaden Richard. 1-and-1 coming. Lorendo didn't get much back into the game before picking up that 5th foul. I like the idea, but it's tough when you have that 4th foul.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the idea, especially if you get the charge, right, we don't even talk about it, right? It's like, oh, you got Richard have his, I think it's his 3rd or 4th, so I mean, you'd be setting up in a good position. But
Richard off on the front end and tipped into the arms of Ankrum. Ankrum now the drive, kick to Wellman Klaus, newly checked back into the ball game, replacing Lorindo, who fouled out a moment ago. And that's going to be a 3-second violation on Marsh underneath. Ball back to the Ponies, 3:21 remaining. Might see some full court pressure here by the Trojans.
yeah, things are about to get wild. You can feel that we're hitting that time in a prelim game where things are about to start getting crazy.
And Richard, good job battling through that press. Almost tripped up from behind, able to keep the dribble alive. Tipped out of bounds off Marsh. Now it's the Trojans who are kind of applying more high-pressure defense here.
Yeah, absolutely. You could making them have to be a little bit uncharacteristic and press more than they probably would like to be honest with you.
And you can see the Ponies are starting to try to slow things down here, taking some extra time. As I say it, Richard to the rim, going to be bumped on the way up. He's going to line, chance at 2 free throws. And now both sides, 9 total team fouls. That foul goes against Alex Gray, his 3rd. Richard up and in on the first. It's way too early to, decide one way or the other for sure in this ball game. But we do have to start to kind of think about the Bangor Savings Bank player of the game, as Richard good on the 2nd as well. You've got a number of names for either side, and like I said, it's probably too early to even come close to calling it, but it's been impressive performances by a number of players out there on the court tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Foxcroft, number one that sticks out in my mind is Caden Crocker, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Biggest guy steps up in the biggest moments.
And that shot off the mark for Ankrum, who has had a great night tonight.
Yeah, him and Marsh on that side have been their 2 best players all day.
Coach Toby Nelson's going to take a timeout. We're going to keep it here. I want to take the opportunity to thank a few more of the sponsors who have helped make these broadcasts possible. Dexter Municipal Golf Course is opening up membership enrollment for the 2023 season. Individual adult memberships start at $450, but capture a 10% discount if paid by April 15th. Dexter Muni is also offering a 20% discount to those who weren't members last season. That's unlimited greens fees at Dexter Municipal Golf Course in the 2023 season for only $360. The early bird gets the worm. Call 924-2245 for more info. That's 924-2245. Dexter Municipal Golf Course. If you need a vehicle, contact Sonny, Sean, Brian, or Ryan at Hartley's. Easy financing available. Great selection of new and used. Call 207-368-5751. Maine Mapping Company provides all of your land surveying and mapping needs throughout the state of Maine. Centrally located in Dexter, Maine Mapping provides boundary, topographic, and aerial surveys, as well as construction survey services statewide. Visit us at www.mainemappingco.com or check out our Facebook page to get more information or request a quote. All right. So with that, we've got a 6-point ball game, 2:34 on the clock. The Ponies, they can try to massage some possession here, but you got to think you're going to have to score some more points for this game to end. If you can take some time off the clock, definitely do it. And I think Coach Toby Nelson was telling them, calm down and be ready to take control of the basketball and take care of it.
Yeah, 100%. And if you get that open shot, take it, right? Is that you want to play slow, but if you get the shot like that, oh, almost.
And the extra kick out there, not a bad idea. Rayfield dumps off to Mudichev. That's going to be a travel inside on Mudichev. So some time taken off there, and it was the right idea. I think the plays were made correctly. Mudichev just looked like the ball got away from him as he was trying to make the transfer on the pass there, ended up in a travel.
Yeah, absolutely. It looked like Marsh maybe got a hand on it as he was going out, and it made him lose it for a second and made him pick it up again.
Nice pass inside. Ankrum to Marsh. Layup, 2 points. Press coming for sure. Richard has it, dribbling through traffic now. Ball played over to Crocker. Slightly dangerous there. Now under 2 minutes left. Crocker thought about the drive. That's going to be a foul against Marsh. And that's who you want at the free throw line if you're the Ponies.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, if you could pick, you'd pick him.
And 2 free throws now. 10th total team foul just Marsh's second. So here, if you're the Ponies, you can't battle too hard for the offensive glass here.
Yeah, no, because then they'll go right back down on the other side and shoot some free throws.
Crocker, good on the first. Caden Crocker. Chance to add to the lead here, and does. He's got 4 on the quarter, 18 on the game. A leading candidate for Bangor Savings Bank Player of the Game, but we got a lot of ball game left to go. And that's going to be a hold called against Caden Crocker, and free throws now. And that's going to be a hold called against Caden Crocker.
It didn't look like he grabbed arm. It looked like he grabbed his wrist, just got just below the ball where he wanted it.
It almost looked like there was definitely contact with the ball, but both players had such a firm grasp of it, they kind of ended up interlocked.
Yeah, they did.
So Wellman Klaus now, 2 free throws coming with the clock stopped. Off on the first.
And just like we were harping on before, if they wanted to win this game, they're going to have to make these free throws late, which they were struggling with earlier in the game, and it's coming back to bite them right now.
Ankrum's been phenomenal from the free throw line all night tonight, but Wellman Klaus makes his second. That's a big free throw there.
Make it a 5-point game.
And that ball stolen away. Ankrum for 2. Ball played in quickly. Ankrum, definitely a leading candidate for the Trojans here.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we knew things were going to get a little bit crazy, but we're getting real crazy here.
And that's a foul. And Caden Crocker heading to the free throw line. One thing that could start to appear at the end of this ball game is fatigue. Caden Crocker's in phenomenal shape, but on that possession alone, he was tasked with dribbling through a press in a double team, ended up getting fouled, headed to the free throw line now, makes the front end. Well, not front end anymore. We're shooting 2 free throws, but makes the first.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, fatigue's definitely going to play an impact, especially if they keep making. He has the ball in his hands so much that.
Good on the second as well. He's a perfect 6 of 6 on the ball game from the free throw line.
I mean, I guess the fatigue won't matter for him, right? So far, at least.
So far, so good. Marsh going to line up a 3. Going to make a 3. Timeout taken. Coach Norwood, we're going to keep it here. Gabe, 2-point ball game. Walk me through what you think both sides are talking about right now.
Oh man, I mean, you're gonna have to have a play drawn up right now by Coach Nelson. He's gonna be drawing a play on the floor, getting something so they can get a quick inbounds pass, not to worry about it. And MDI is gonna be doing the exact opposite. Let's trap. Let's take someone off the inbounder, leave the inbounder to be by himself, and double team probably Crocker if I had to guess, right? Double team Crocker, make somebody else win this game for Foxcroft. I mean, he's, like we said, perfect 6 for 6 in this game. You're going to be in trouble if he's shooting the free throws down the stretch. So. And
with 1:09 remaining and it only being a 2-point ball game, you have a little bit of time to try to go for a steal here. So you don't need to foul initially. You're definitely not going to try to foul in the backcourt here, as you're assuming going to come out of full court press.
Yes.
But even in the half court, you can go for a steal for a minute. Well, not a minute, but a couple seconds here or there. And just a note, I have Marsh down for 18 and Ankrum down for 18. If I'm looking at my scoreboard, scorebook real quick.
I got the same thing for Zoo, so.
Just a phenomenal game. Quick math, that's 36 points for the two of them.
Look at you.
Yeah, I know. Mathematician me out here. But just in all seriousness, a phenomenal ball game out of those two.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, even more math. That's 2/3 of their points from those two players.
Look at us. Eastern Maine math up here.
Don't want to put yourself in the corner.
Caden Crocker ended up with it, and that foul is going to go against Ankrum. And almost a steal going the other way.
If you are Richard, you do not want to do that again because you're putting yourself in the corner, forcing yourself to make a play like that. That could have been a steal real easy, and then you're in real trouble.
That's one of those steals that it's a pick 6.
Yes.
In basketball, it's a pick 2. You're going the other way for an easy layup.
Yeah, absolutely.
Crocker, first one rolls in.
You could see the fatigue starting.
I mean, but it's so clutch.
It went in, but I mean, like.
And he's done it all year, and good on the second there as well. Free throws are going to be the deciding factor down the stretch here.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Crocker 6 for 6 alone in this quarter. I mean, you can't have him be the guy who's.
Wellman Klaus passed that ball just as Ankrum had an open backdoor cut. Marsh now Gonna line up a shot. Off the mark. Rebound. Smith. Knocked out of play, and it's gonna go back to the Trojans with 36.9 on the clock.
Yeah, that was an ill-advised pass, to say the least there. I don't know what was the thought there. But
Wellman Klaus has to save that ball through the hands. Jackson Smith going to pick it up instead of letting it travel out of bounds. He's going to keep the clock running. Richard has it. Now you got to go for the foul. They are going to foul Jaden Richard here. At the end of this ball game, my broadcast partner Gabe's going to run down, and we're going to grab our Bangor Savings Bank player of the game. But it's a little too early to do that, I think, with the way the scoring is right now. Still 24 seconds on the clock, barring some free throws here. We'll see what happens down the stretch of this ball game as Jaden Richard off on the first. That keeps it a 4-point ball game. Still a 2-possession game.
That's a little I'm amped free throw, right? You put it too strong. You're thinking too much about it.
Second one rolls in. Richard now just applies enough pressure so the ball has to get picked up. Wellman Kraus, Ankrum, backdoor. That's going to be a turnover going back the other way. Pony ball, 19.4 on the clock. Crocker now, he's going to be fouled immediately. There is still some time, but if the Ponies stick with the lead they have at the moment, it will be an impressive comeback. I believe it was 6-20 at one point in that first quarter.
Yes, it was.
And they had to fight and claw back into this game. But I want to give a ton of credit to MDI. And there's still some time on the clock here as Crocker shows he's human and misses a free throw.
His first miss of the day.
MDI has played a phenomenal basketball game. And the way they played that first half was near, or first quarter especially, was near flawless. They definitely deserve to be proud of their efforts as Wellman Klaus. That ball almost stolen on the initial inbounds play.
Just got to get a shot up.
Yeah. And Richard, he takes it away. Going to take some time off the clock. Going to be fouled, my broadcast partner. Going to go down a little, some extracurricular activity. You don't need that at the end of a ball game here. Our player of the game is going to be Caden Crocker at the conclusion of this one. Want to make sure both sides exit with cooler heads here. Richard headed back to the free throw line. We're going to get Coach Nelson and Caden Crocker at the end of this one. As Foxcroft Academy looks like they're going to escape tonight with a win. With only 6.5 on the clock, I mean, it's basketball. Anything can happen here. You never know, but score being the way it is, Coach Toby Nelson's going to get everybody off the free throw lanes. No sense in picking up a foul in this situation. Richard, second from the line is good. Ball played in, Wellman Klaus. Back over to Marsh. Marsh puts up a three. Off the mark. Clock's going to expire here. Foxcroft Academy is going to come out with a win. 61-54. We're going to take a quick break and rejoin you in a moment.
Sluggers baseball and softball training offers a variety of classes and leagues to expose you to a wider view of the game. Sluggers leads the way in baseball and softball training with industry-leading technology such as HitTrax that combines a traditional batting cage experience with modern analytics, all from the virtual diamond of your favorite ballpark. Check out Sluggers today on Facebook, schedule online, or call 207-951-2250 to start your journey with the best training staff around. Excellence starts at Sluggers.
All across New England, business owners are finding new ways to succeed. Families are working hard to provide for their loved ones and their future. It's the spirit of New Englanders that inspires all of us to do more. It's in our employees, our customers, and our communities. Every day we do more. Because at Bangor Savings Bank, we truly believe you matter more.
Welcome back here, and thank you for joining us in the Bangor Savings Bank postgame show. Caden Crocker making his way up to the booth now. He is going to be our Bangor Savings Bank player of the game. Caden, you've been up here before with us.
Yes,
First
sir.
of all, congratulations after the prelim victory there.
Thank you so much.
Hard fought, hard earned.
Yes.
This might not be the most fun memory for you, but let's go
Right.
back to that first quarter. At one point, it was 6-20. The Trojans, they played great in that opening quarter. 8-20 was the ending of that quarter, so you guys had 8, down 12 heading into that second. What was your mindset like? What was going through your mind? Obviously a slow start, but what were you thinking headed into that second quarter?
I mean, we can't quit. We started off slow. I think in a game like that, it's not really about like your skill or anything. It's just about like the want, like the fight that you have. I mean, we're a football school. Like we're known for battling and stuff like that, and that's just like the energy that we had to bring.
Well, you are known for a football school. You're well known as a football player, proving yourself excellent as a basketball player out here as well. 23 points on the night. Let's get into more about you specifically. What did you see that you knew you had to take advantage of in this ball game? I know from the free throw line, we'll get into that in a moment. You're great from there. But offensively, what were you seeing, especially maybe in transition, that you were trying to take advantage of tonight?
Transition-wise, whenever I had the ball, I would get it quick up the floor, and then I would wait for the bottom to clear out. And if I had a lane, I would drive, and if not, I would drive and kick it out to a three. Because if they would crash, our three guys were right there just catch and shoot the ball.
And the execution was there in the second half.
Yes, sir.
Free throw line. I mean, you must have ice in your blood here. I mean, you're clutch down the stretch. When you step up to the free throw line with a chance to put the ball game away, what's going through your mind?
I mean, confidence. I mean, I'm trying not to think about the game too much. I mean, we shoot a ton in practice. I just try to be confident, not take the moment for granted, just step up there and knock down a shot.
And the last question before we give the headset off to Coach Nelson, let's talk about the moment a little bit. How does it feel emotionally? You know, you get the prelim win on your home floor. You're now headed to the Cross Center. How did the atmosphere in here feel like, and how does it feel now to be advancing to the Cross Center?
It feels so good. Relief. I mean, we haven't got – this is our second time going to the Cross Center. We didn't go until last year was our first year. So going back-to-back 2 years in a row is the first time for us in a long time. I'm grateful.
And you guys earned it tonight. It took a tough battle against a quality team in MDI, but you guys earned it tonight. Caden Crocker, 23 points, some clutch free throws down the stretch. You are Bangor Savings Bank Player of the Game.
Thank you so
We're
much.
going to pass it off to Coach Toby Nelson, and we'll wrap up the Bangor Savings Bank postgame show here. Thank you, Caden. Coach Nelson.
Oh, man,
wow. First of all, how's the heart rate?
Well, it's coming down a little bit. Look, MDI gave us all we wanted. We told you in the pregame. It's not a team. Look, we didn't take them lightly. It's not a team we took lightly. We haven't talked about anything past this night since last Saturday, and we found out who we were going to be playing. And they came out and hit shots. You know, we gave them some good looks, but you got to credit them for hitting shots. And none. I mean, at the end of the game, when 24 is out there stroking threes, it's like, geez, it's just kind of their night. But we did enough in the second half. Defensive intensity was a lot better in the third quarter, and we move on.
What was the conversation, Coach? What was the conversation like at the end of that first quarter into that second quarter break there?
That we had to pull our heads out of something, and I'm not going to repeat what we talked about in the huddle. But
audience can fill in the
we had to look. I didn't figure that with the way MDI is played, a 20-point quarter for them is a big quarter. So I didn't know if they could replicate that. And we gave up a lot of points in the first half. It was 33 in the first half. So you know, for us, that's a lot of points to give up in a first half. But credit them for finding open shots. The guys played really hard for them. But you know, I like the way our guys showed some moxie, especially in the third quarter. You know, halftime, you know, you can go in guns a-blazing and hellfire and brimstone, but this team just doesn't react to that. So we talk about what we're doing wrong and hope that we can move on, and we were able to.
Yeah, and you had a number of guys step up tonight. Caden was obviously our Bangor Savings Bank Player of the Game. Jaden came alive in that second half.
He played really well in the second half, yeah.
And Mudachev in the starting role tonight, I think defensively and, you know, block shots, rebounding did a good job for your team. But kind of talk a little bit about some of those key performers and off the bench, what your guys were able to do and plug and play and coming in and pressing as well. Different rules for some guys tonight.
We had some guys get some extended minutes just because of different, you know, rotational issues. Jack Smith, Wyatt Rayfield coming off the bench. Silas got some minutes off the bench. So, you know, they did what they needed to do in what we're trying to do here. We tried to speed the game up, obviously, with some pressure, some man-to-man pressure. We tried a little bit of a zone. It worked okay, but we're still trying to work on that. So, you know what? We got a couple more days to prepare on that one and see if it's something we can add to our arsenal. But I don't know what more to say. The guys played in the second half. That's the way we're capable of playing. We scored 25 points in the first half. We finished with 61. That's the way we're capable of playing. We have to put together a 32-minute game like that, and not 16, and not 8, and not 24. It's got to be a full game, and we better start on Saturday, because if we don't put together a 32-minute game on Saturday, it is one and done at the Cross Center.
And Coach,
but we're going to the Cross Center.
You are. That was going to be my next point, because I was going to say, how does it feel, with this group? And does it – you had to battle for it.
Yeah.
So it adds a little bit of appreciation with a group that was willing to go to battle and play hard, especially in that second half. How does it feel to get this group?
It feels good.
Yeah.
It feels really good. It feels good. I feel good for the kids. The second year in a row. We haven't been to the tournament for 2 years in a row. I don't know. It might be 17, 18 years. I got to go back and take a look. I have all the records. But to get there is special. And, we got there last year, and I think we were a little wide-eyed when we got there, and, it's a quick exit, right? This year's a different situation. We're not going in as the favorite. Last year we did. This year we're going to wear the maroon uniforms and sit on the other side of the Cross Center. I'm fine with that. And we'll play a really, really good Old Town team. But we got 2 days to prepare. I got some guys that are helping us out. Got some coaches that are helping us out. And we're just going to give it what we got on Saturday. But I'm proud of these guys, and I know they should feel good about this one.
And we will have live audio coverage of that one as well. So stay tuned for that if you're still watching at home. Coach Toby Nelson, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, guys. And thank you for being really, I think you've done basically all of our home games. I know a couple you missed. But the coverage is great. I know parents, grandparents, people around the world watch this. And we can't thank you for your professional, good coverage of high school basketball, not just here at Foxcroft Academy, but around our region. So thank you very much for being here.
We love doing it. We appreciate the kindness and candor we've received at Foxcroft Academy and everywhere else we've been. And thank you, Coach Toby Nelson. And that's going to do it for us on this coverage of Eastern Maine Sports Media. We'll be back.